Hello, so this will be a guide on how to defeat the Magma Wyrm in order to hopefully get the Moonveil Katana. The build I'm currently running is a bandit and I'm on level 5. And I think I have the Radagon's Sword Seal equipped to boost up each of my stats by 5. But apart from that, it's a fairly low leveled build, and I'm going to be trying to beat the Magma Wyrm, or giving you the hints and tips that I kind of learnt while facing him. In terms of physical damage, I think the best ones to go for is the best weapons to go for is anything that deals standard pierce damage or strike damage. Those are the kind of the best ones to go for. So pierce, standard and strike. Slash is actually the weakest one. He's actually a bit more resistant to slash damage than the other physical damage elements, but as I'm going with the bandit build, most of my weapons are actually slash, so I'm going to be trying to go with making him bleed and staggering him in order to get most of my damage. Now he is quite resistant to bleed, poison and Scarlet Rot. Most of his body is, but his head is slightly a bit more vulnerable to those status conditions, so if you get headshots, those are the best way to kind of proc those things. And in terms of the Wondrous Physick, I'll be using this one here, Spike Cracked here, which enhances charged attacks. So that's, again, because he's quite vulnerable to staggers, that's the best thing to go for there. And I think I also find it useful when I have a stamina boost in here, so I'm going to be having that also. In terms of weapon greases, he's very resistant to fire, being like a Magma Wyrm, he's resistant to fire. He's still fairly resistant to magic, lightning, and holy, but he's least resistant to the Dragon Wound grease, which can be found in Caelid, so it's probably the best one to apply if you're gonna go for that. I think the easiest way to defeat this boss is probably to stay in mid to long range, and just take your time and be patient, but because my bandit is mainly close range build, most of my hints and tips are probably going to lean towards this kind of build as opposed to a magic build. Okay, so let's get started. So first off, I think I'm going to apply, I'll craft one of these pickled turnips because they help boost stamina. Oh, I've got the flame attachment, just bear with me. So I'm going to go for Bloodhound Step as the Ash of War, just so I can get extra mobility, and now I should be able to buff my weapons. So okay, so I find the best thing to do is to run in, and he'll normally do a charged magma breath like that. If he doesn't do that, then he might actually do a charging rampage kind of move, which I should try and show in a second. This move here is just like a swing smash, I guess, and then this one is the same one. Again, after he does that, he's got quite a bit of end lag, so it's a good idea to charge on his head. This is the other one that I was mentioning earlier when he charges up. It looks like he's going to spew magma, but he actually just charges and runs. And he does that in the first phase just twice, normally, and then yeah, he goes back to blowing fire. But later on, he will start to Yeah, so that's the stagger there. Because I'm going for the bleed, I'm just going to use my daggers to get the bleed proc, and then normally you have enough, if you're fast enough, you'll have enough time to get the riposte attack off there as well. So that one of those attacks, that attack there, when he smashes into the ground, it's sort of like a bait, because it seems like he's gonna, that attack actually leads into two different attacks, so he can either jump at you like that or swing his sword back and rake it back. So now his health's a bit more vulnerable, I think. Yeah, he's going for more of those charge runs. It's probably not the best position to be in right now. And he does that 4 times, so after he's got a bit of damage on him, he does it 4 times and then stops. Again, he's just gonna normal swing attack. So this is probably the best time to get him here. So when he rears up like that, that means he's gonna smash his axe or whatever it is into the ground, and that does some AoE damage on the floor. So let's avoid that by jumping. Okay, so that attack is just spewing magma to one side, and that's the move to jump over. And I've got another riposte. Like, he's quite resistant. Oops. Yeah, I was trying to go for the bleed damage there, but I accidentally didn't switch out to my other dagger. So now I think I'm going to switch to some long range, just to show how that looks. So this is the bait that I was talking about. Sometimes he hits the dagger down and then drags it back, but sometimes he just hits it down and then jumps at you. So you just need to watch out for that move when you're in mid to long range. Okay, I think I'm dead now. Okay, so that was just a poor timing with my arrow. I should have timed that a bit better. Let me just get some actual flasks so I can heal. I just want to show how resistant he is to Scarlet Rot. So these arrows, redburn arrows, I can craft, and hopefully okay, this bow that I'm using is it's a serpent bow, and it like doubles the amount of poison so that you can put on an enemy. So about 2 charge shots or three charge shots, and he's probably going to have poison on him. So it might take about 5 or 6 with the normal arrow. So that's 2 so far. And then this should get him here. Yeah, so now he's propped with poison. 3 shots to the head, 3 charge shots to the head with the serpent bow. So like I said, the serpent bow like doubles the amount of build up for poison. So it might take a bit more than 3, or it's definitely going to take a bit more than 3 when you use a normal bow. So you're probably looking about 6 charge shots there. When he does this charge attack, I think, so like if he runs and charges like that, if you let go, whoops, that's a bad example. So let me try that again. I just want to show one last thing in terms of his vulnerabilities when he's doing that charge attack. It's a bit more harder to get the Scarlet Rot on him, but if you get about 3 or 4 consecutive shots to the head, it should do it. I think he's a bit annoyed. He's definitely aggroed now, so he needs to be a bit more careful. So when he does that move, if you lock off and then charge up another arrow and shoot like that, it should give you enough time to shoot and then get away, and then lock off, charge a shot, shoot, and then get away. Yeah, you kind of want to aim for the head, hopefully, and not miss. This magma is particularly annoying in this battle, because it actually can catch you, and then that leads up into his follow attacks, and sometimes the magma just catches you while you're just running around trying to evade him. So I always found myself getting frustrated whenever I'll die to the magma, because it just seems inconsequential, but actually it's quite annoying. You just have to keep an eye out for it. I'm going to try to show that charge shot one more time, and then I think I'll then put the footage where I'm actually beating him. So that's like 5 arrows now, and he still hasn't. So this is what I mean, charging a shot here, and then shooting, and then running, and then charging a shot here, shooting, and then running. Obviously watch out for your stamina, and watch out for the magma that's all along the floor. Okay, yeah, and the Scarlet Rot has finally procced, so you can see how much time that took to do that. Another thing is, oops, let me just heal up first. Okay, another guide actually I saw, I'll probably put it down in the description. What he was doing is he was actually just hanging around the back leg, around there, and then just watching out for his moves and just timing it. So just watching out mainly for that one, that swinging move, because that's the main thing that he's going to hit you with when you're behind his leg. And obviously just keeping away when he charges like this. Obviously if you're a magic user, this is probably, like, similarly to how I showed you earlier on how to charge bow shots, this is probably one of the better, more convenient times to hit him. But the timing's a bit strict, so just be careful with that. Oops. So I'm just trying to show here the method for getting behind his back leg and attacking him here. So yeah, the swing attack's really what you have to watch out for. When he spews Magma like that, I would have said that would have been one of the easier times to hit him, but just watch out for the magma. But yeah, I'll put a link into that melee weapon build and how to beat him with a melee weapon, using that strategy to stay behind his leg. But again, I think me personally, I prefer going for his head. I just personally find that easier to do. because he is most vulnerable at the head, but it means that he is going to be more likely to hit you there. So, but generally once you kind of get used to his moveset, he's not too bad. If I tried to shot here, it should just land right. Whoopsie. Yeah, it would have landed right for me if I had shot it. Okay, I think that's long enough now. I think you get the general idea. Those are most of the points that I wanted to just cover. I'll leave the footage of me actually defeating him on now. Alright, thanks. Bye.
It's time I set off to the festival at Redmane Castle on the southern edge of the Scarlet Rot blighted Caelid Wilds. Doesn't the thought just set your heart aflutter?